You're listening to Glow On with Charla Story
and Jennifer Wilson. We're not just photographers. We're your trusty guides in the world of photography, business, and a bit of life wisdom. Every week, we'll be lighting up your feed with practical tips, inspiring stories, and a sprinkle of humor just to keep you smiling.
We've captured luxurious weddings, mentored talented students at Develope Academy, and navigated the ups and downs of the photography world to bring you insights and strategies that work. Whether you're looking to sharpen your skills, boost your business, or just hang out with two friends who get it, you're in the right place.
So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy,
and let's dive into another episode of Glow On. Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm great.
You guys, what a week. We are so excited to dive into something that I don't think I've really ever seen anyone in our industry talk about, but it's actually really necessary because when seeking your mentor, you have a lot of options. And thank you for flying with Develop Academy.
Yeah, we're just wanting to have a quick conversation with you about what it really looks like to kickstart your glow up, if you will, and choosing the right mentors. And we're not plugging ourselves as your right mentors. We're actually talking about how you can identify the right place for you to find mentors, education, and where to feel like you can start and get the most immediate return on investment.
Yeah. We have many people in our community who also get education and mentorship from other places as well. And it's always nice to have conversations with them and help them to identify, you could use maybe some help from so-and-so for X, Y, or Z. So we thought it would be impactful and beneficial to do that with you guys.
Yeah. Whenever you have a problem in your life, you immediately think of a certain friend to talk about that specific problem with. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that. If you have this kind of problem, you love going to Susie Q. And if you have this kind of problem, and you need to be puffed up, you're going to go over here. And so it's smart to, again, like we said last week, not have all your eggs in one basket. And we're going to do a variety of learning and a variety of networking.
Yes.
Glowing up many times over.
It's true. So we actually have, when we were chatting, we kind of realized there's 5 different things that we identified both in ourselves, but also in our students as opportunities whenever we're looking for potential places to glow up and how to know that it's time for one of those things. So we wanted to walk you through those first. So Charla, what is probably where you would start first? How do you know it's time?
Okay. Often, so many people that we are mentoring or guiding or even just chatting with amongst friends in the industry, it's the importance of self-assessment. Mm-hmm. Identifying your strengths, your weaknesses, and your passions so that you can really understand your current position and where you're wanting to go in 18 months, 5 years. So I think I have to say, number one is the importance of honest self-reflection. Before you can start any real glow up, you got to know where you've been, where you are, and where you want to glow.
I like that. Good pun. Listen, if you have a hard time self-assessing, but you have a trusted friend who is in a similar industry or looking to glow in similar areas, you can also ask them to help you self-assess. So don't get too stuck. I also think it's really important that you set clear goals. So after you've realized what you've assessed, what are we going to do once we've done that? What are our plans? Where do we need to take this? Because if you've realized hey, my posing needs help, but you don't have goals of I want to be able to master large wedding parties, or I want to be able to do family photos in less than 12 minutes, or I just need more compelling posing for my couples. If you don't have a goal, then you don't know who you're looking for. Because I don't want to go hire someone who their wedding party work looks nothing like I would want mine to look like, or if it looks just like mine currently. So we've got to set clear goals based on how you've assessed yourself, or you're just, it's like you've done nothing.
Yeah. Well, and when the goals aren't clear, that's how we get burnout or we stray, overwhelmed. It can be
Yeah. Well, and just as a modifier, a clarifier too. You when you're making these goals, you guys, based on your self-assessment, I'm not going to look at myself let's say it's like a weight loss journey. I'm not going to be like, "Okay, well, Heidi Klum, I'm going to be you in 6 months." Like, sure, maybe 6 years and lots of money and lots of hard work and a change in my genetics. That's not achievable, right? So maybe I should look at a different celebrity that I love who has a similar body build to myself and who doesn't weigh 90 pounds. So
yeah.
make sure that your goals are also realistic and actually attainable.
Mhm. Balancing ambition with realism.
Yeah, that.
Uh, Number 3, identify skills gaps. Like,
Mm,
obviously, during your self-assessment, you're figuring out your strengths and your weaknesses, but once you figure out what your weaknesses are, you need to evaluate those skills and understand what pain points you need to be looking for education or guidance in.
mm,
Uh,
mhm.
there's a difference between your current like, what you're capable of currently and what you want, and you're not gonna get there in an easy fashion on your own. There's no easy button. The
No.
only easiest way is to try to get guidance before it happens so you know what to do when it does, or
Yeah,
even to just like parenting, right? We want our kids to have start with more than what we started with so that
yeah.
they get further along in the video game. Same idea. So, prioritize which skills you need to develop first because it's a domino effect.
Yeah, you're not gonna master wedding party skills if you also don't understand time management or maybe flow posing.
Right.
Oh, and speaking of, I feel like this is where having a plan of action is fantastic because if you've assessed, you have identified your skill gaps and you have goals, then you can begin making a plan. And as we all should know, I love to strategize. So this is my favorite one. I've been playing this game. I don't know if you've seen ads for it, but like it's all these test tubes with different colored liquids and you have to like pour them in and whatever and you get them all in the whatever. I love strategizing like this. So looking at where do I maybe not suck but I'm not great. And I've located all of these things and now I need a strategy. So what are your actionable steps? Is there a deadline? Are there milestones along the way that you can give yourself a pat on the back because uh, anytime we're reaching for big goals, you're going to fall. You're going to maybe struggle a little bit and you need those milestones that you can celebrate. So make sure you have those. And most importantly, when you're creating an action plan, you don't want to be too rigid.
Right.
If you're like, I will be on the best of list by 2025, but you just shot your 30th wedding, maybe that isn't quite the flexibility we
Yeah.
need. Maybe you say by year 10, I would like to accomplish these larger goals and take your smaller goals. I want to be published in a local magazine by 2025 or whatever it is, but give yourself flexibility and adaptability because as we know, if you're in this industry, you're likely a creative, you likely have big feelings and you likely feel those feelings big. So the last thing we want to do is to create an action plan that's going to set us up for failure because I also know that if you're like us, getting back up on your feet and feeling the same level of motivation after you've knocked yourself down is very difficult.
Yeah. Well, and and on that realistic goal front, things that you can actually be in control of.
Yes.
You're not necessarily in control of publications and lists and
Mhm.
specific planners, so make sure they're not subjective goals. We call those dreams around here, and we
Yeah.
love them, and we manifest them, but they're not a part of an action plan. An action plan is the opportunity to have control and do one thing, hopefully, every working day towards whatever these goals are that you've made in those areas that you need to work on them gaps, them skills gaps, the nooks and crannies. I did it.
Them skills backs.
Okay, and then the 5th thing is that we it's about building your network because as you work through these action plans and these skills gaps, that's when you're like, "Okay, I need to seek knowledge
Mm,
and community elsewhere." And so you have to make it important to connect with people in the photography and or wedding industry so that not only online, but also offline and in person.
Yes.
You can leverage social media, you can get out and network, but the whole point is to understand other people's perspectives, what's important to them, help you grow your mindset, and lead you to finding your people that are on a similar path or further along where you'd like to be, because that's the best place for you to really start vetting
Yeah.
mentors and educators.
I mean, you guys, we've said it a million times, don't be an island. If you think about islands that have not been reached by technology today, they still exist. There are people in the middle of forests who are living completely disconnected lives, and that's good. They love it. They aren't really necessarily that far along in the course of human history. So if you are yourself an island or you are stuck in a forest with no contact to anybody, you are limiting yourself from resources and opportunities to grow and become the best version of yourself. So don't do that. Get out there and network. I love that one. Um, as mentioned in my airline ad at the top of this episode, we know there are many opportunities and options that you can choose from when it
Yeah,
comes to picking a mentor. I actually was reading a Reddit thread last night that was, slightly terrifying, but also encouraging,
as
about
Reddit always is.
right. But it was like, sometimes you read it yourself, but the conversation that was being had was like, okay, so everyone's just a photography educator now. Like, it's like
Oh.
you make it 10 years in and then you just get to educate, and that's what it is. And the consensus was that a lot of people are just annoyed by how many people think they are qualified enough to educate people into the
Mm,
next level. And
that's
there
hard.
are, yeah, that is really hard. And the thing I think that I wanted to say, but I did not have the energy to log in and say, was that
I
there
wish you could tell me I wish we should make fake Reddit names that we use when we talk about Reddit here, but that are not actually our Reddit names in honor of Reddit names.
that sounds great. Let's do that.
It could be our spy names from DC.
Like a fret it.
Reddit is actually my name. How'd you know? Anyway.
Oh my god. But as I was reading, I was like, okay, uh, statistically, there are certainly people who probably shouldn't be educating. Sure, I'm sure that exists. But if we look at progress on a linear scale and the people who are seeking mentorship from someone who is further or like less far along in their journey, but further along than that person, then they probably have something they could be teaching them,
Mhm.
right? But maybe someone who's 10 years behind us in our journey, we obviously would have a harder time learning from. You right? So in my head, I was like, maybe there is room for more people than a lot of people want to give credit for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so maybe a little bit less of hating on people for putting themselves out there to educate. But most importantly, how do you identify where is someone on their journey? Do they have something to offer me? And how do you choose the right mentor? Because there are times that we have had to tell our students, like, yeah, I get it. This looks sexy. This looks like the hot new thing. You've already mastered what they are claiming they can teach you. You don't need help there. So I think we need to chat about what to look for.
Yeah. I think one thing we really need to touch on is the difference between taking a class and a mentor,
Facts.
because classes are something that were made that is sharing information and you can learn it, and that is fantastic and usually a lower price point. And a mentorship, a true mentorship,
Yeah.
is like one-on-one. They are so involved in your business and in your life that they are walking you through personally, like a butler or a concierge, like following you on your journey, always there for you, where a class is giving you information. So know that a lot of times mentorships are a word being thrown around when it's really a class, yada, yada. That's fine. That's something important to know. And then from there, yeah, I agree. There should be less hate for people choosing to lean into education. One, they are throwing themselves out there. Two, not everybody can teach, but they won't know if they don't try. So some
Right.
people are going to try it and realize it's not for them, and that's okay. It's actually like a whole other business where you would approach the person you're teaching as a client like you would for photographing or producing an event. And at that point you realize that if you have something to offer them, you're offering it to them, not to everyone. So
Yeah.
if the majority of people are like, this is silly and have complaints, it's just identifying that it's not meant for you. But it doesn't
Right.
mean that it isn't meant for someone. And then that person teaching will either learn that they love it or they don't, and that's also okay. These are, I think, kind of, I'm realizing, a natural progression
Yeah.
as a business owner is eventually you're like, I have something to share with baby me,
Yep.
and you become a little bit of a consultant, and sometimes you find you're great at it, and sometimes you find you don't love it as much as you thought you might, and that's okay.
Right. Well, and I think that there's something positive to say about how many educators there are in our industry and what that means about the quality of people who do what we do. Because to put yourself out there, to educate, give your time, give your expertise, give all of these things, not necessarily giving them away, but to share those things willingly says a lot about the quality of the individual behind that endeavor most of the time.
Yeah.
And so I think it just says a lot about how beautiful our community is and how much we want everyone to succeed. So I think there's positives there too.
Yeah. Well, and the coolest thing really is you can find what you're looking for. So
Yeah.
whether that's to get out of your comfort zone or to start growing in your comfort zone, whatever it may be, there's different types of courses, mentorships, masterminds, there's formal and informal, and there's peer. And I think everyone should be looking for this in their life because of the level of clarity, your communication skills, your assessment skills.
Yeah.
um, it's incredible because you can find someone who aligns with your values, career goals, and personality, and have
Totally.
more effectiveness in your learning because
Yeah.
of who it's coming from. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of having a lot of options.
Totally.
To
So
your credit, though, I have to say, the downside of that is, yeah, anyone can teach and you don't know if they're good at it. So everybody's asking you for money for education and you don't actually know if they're going to be any good at it. And that
right.
is hard. That's frustrating, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So and in a lot of ways people are taking risks. So I think it would be good. We've outlined some things that we think would help you guys if you're
Yeah.
looking for an opportunity to grow. And I mean, obviously price point is going to be a pretty big motivator and steering wheel where this goes.
Mhm.
So while you're making your goals and everything in step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and your action plan, maybe we should have added an action plan. Decide if you're spending money
Yeah.
on this action plan and how much, and then begin looking. But really, whether it's mentorship or a class or a course or whatever it is, the value of learning from experienced professionals is huge. So what you want to do is look for the proof that these people know what they're talking about
Mhm.
and that they do have the experience to back up what they are preaching. um, you also just want to make sure that like the people you're looking for, that there's the potential for them to accelerate your growth and open doors to like new types of information and other types of mentorship, whether that be like formal or informal, like whatever it is. Just make sure that they can they can do what they are claiming
Yeah.
they can teach you to
What
do. They're
Watch out for red flags, like,
yeah.
and we talked about this in a previous episode about how people can smell a
Yeah.
sale a mile away or a
Yeah.
salesman and we're tired of it, but that's why watch out for red flags. You know it, you've
Yeah.
seen it, you feel it. Promises of overnight success, get rich quick schemes,
Yeah.
lack of transparency in their own journey or credentials. Like, you'll see references and examples and champions of past mentor success and glow ups that'll make you know that something is definitely legit. So just don't forget to research your potential mentor options and classes.
For real. If it looks too good to be true, and if everything you're finding is saying this is too good to be true, it is either too good to be true or really, really great.
Yeah.
So look for social proof. If you can find someone that maybe you've heard of or you follow on Instagram who has given a review, ask them. There was a time actually It was how we began our business when someone else had been approached to teach with startup camp like we had. And they called me and they're like, should I do this? And I had to give them my honest feedback. And that was so interesting. But it was the first time someone had ever been like, I care too much about my own time and expertise to go into something
Mhm.
blind. And so I'm
Right.
going to call a stranger.
Yep.
And I loved it.
Phone a friend.
I loved it. But
That's the buyer's journey now.
right?
Mhm.
It is. I
Yeah.
mean, it goes back to episode 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
There are so many steps in a buyer's journey these days. So, if people are reading up on you that much before they hire you, then you should be reading up on the people you are looking to
Mhm.
also invest in. And there are just so many times where I'm like, "Okay, well, I see that you're wanting to grow in your reception work or whatever." And then they think they're going to go learn from somebody who is not showing any reception work.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Make it make sense.
we're not going to the farmer's market to buy shoes, guys.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Well, and then I see so many people, and I think for a minute when I was a little baby photographer, I did this too. I would bounce around and we're just looking for that like aha moment, that easy button, the thing that changes it all, and all the windows open up and the birds sing and they're like, ah, and the sun is shining and we're like, we've made it. And just a reminder, that's not a thing. That's a cartoon.
Snow White.
And it's yeah, Roger Rabbit. I mean, there's a lot of options here. But that's that's beautiful, sure, but you climb a mountain and you see a new ridge and you have a new goal and
Yep.
you go down and you celebrate it and you move up. So, making the most out of the mentorships you lean into and trying to have actual invested time on goals and giving yourself time investment to get the return and see it
Yes.
instead of just thinking you're gonna take one quick class and your life is gonna change. You
No, and
have to invest in yourself and in your business.
there are so many times that I would like do a little class or whatever and think like this is it. This is how I get to charge twice as much money or like whatever. And there were times that like there wasn't a chance in hell that what I was just presented was ever going to do that. And then there were other times that I was given great information, great homework, all of the things and I chose not to do it. So once you've gone through all of these steps and you've identified the correct place to grow and learn. It's not on our list of things to say, but we have to say it. Do the freaking work.
Yeah.
Show up, watch
Mhm.
whatever you've paid for, do all of the things, practice in our own community, the students who decide to dive in and give as much of themselves to the work. God, the amount of growth that we get to witness is
Mhm.
truly so
And
fantastic and so fun.
it's not even like, we want you to do the work because you
No.
should blah, blah." No, what's happening in the work of that mentorship and investing in yourself and actually taking the things you're learning in classes and from reading and books and implementing it. You're on a journey that's helping you find how it's yours,
Right.
making it your own. So
Right.
you're walking through similar things as everyone else, but doing the work means you're gonna find yourself and your voice, and that's what mentorship is about. It's guidance, it's not reflection.
Right. That's good. That's really good.
Listen, all that to say, look for people you enjoy being around, people that are successful at what it is you want to do, and have enough experience that you think you're gonna get return on your investment, whatever that looks like.
100%. And then also look for a dose of humility never hurts in an
Mhm.
educator. If there's something you ask them and they do not know the answer and they tell you, I'm not sure, let me research it, or I know someone who is an expert at this, I'm going to connect you or I'm going to bring them to
Yeah,
you. That's another fantastic green flag that this person is in it for you and they just get to reap the benefits of your success
yeah,
and by helping you. So no one's an expert at everything. And if anyone's pretending to be the expert at everything, you should probably run.
absolutely. So, I mean, you should start your glow up in whatever that looks like for you by taking action and doing something for yourself every day.
Yeah.
We certainly invite you to check out Develop Academy. We actually we have classes, but just like Jen said, we are not the expert at everything. So we bring experts in. So we have a lot of classes with other incredible educators that we like to champion and spend time with and have personally learned from. And we sing their praises from the rooftops for you to go and get that same experience that we had with them.
It's true. And if we're not the best fit for you, that's okay. We're glad you're here spending time with us.
Right.
And we love that. So,
Absolutely. So, but talk to me about
my glow on?
your glow on.
I thought you were gonna go first. You were so excited about you were like, "I know what my glow on is." And I was like, "Well, don't
Oh, I
tell me."
do. Do you want me to go first? You went first last time.
You're right, I did go first last time.
I go.
How
Mine's
Karen and
easy.
Georgia of us just now.
Um, it's that, like, Nello drink that's going viral on TikTok.
What is this?
It's like this I don't have it, but it's a little packet that
Okay.
and they're saying that it helps your cortisol levels
I've seen
and
this.
your sleep and, like, the calmness.
Yeah.
And I've been drinking it, and I do definitely feel it's got ashwagandha in it, so I definitely
Uh-huh.
feel the calmness, and it's helping me with bed. I don't know if my face looks better, and I'm not at a great angle for you to be sharing your thoughts right now, but, um, I would say that is my glow on, with one little caveat. I have had 2 nights of strange, vivid dreams, and I'm wondering if that's why.
I mean,
So I will
historically
I'll come back. I know, they happen sometimes, but this it also has magnesium, you know how I feel about magnesium.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think I like it. However, it might be disrupting the other dimension I live in at night.
Listen, if there is anyone in my life that I am convinced sometimes visits themselves in another dimension when they're asleep, it is you.
Yeah.
So if Nello is sending you on a rocket to that moon, live your best life. But I have been wondering about it. I do get fed. I didn't memorize the name, so that's why I was so confused. I've been wondering if it actually works.
I was like,
So
"This is for me."
I am such a hesitant purchaser on TikTok. And then when I do, it's either trash or freaking fantastic. I
Mhm.
mean, I have a lot of maybe I should my next couple of glow-ons should be past TikTok purchases.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna wait for your extended review.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to let you continue to vet this, and then I will trust or not trust Nello as my cortisol mentor.
Did I tell you I was at the county health travel department getting all those things ready for Africa,
Yeah.
and you're picking out your malaria pill options, and she's like, "These are the side effects of each one," and she's like, "Most people love this one, but some people experience very vivid dreams," and I was like, "I'm out.
Nope.
Not for me." And she was like, "Oh, people usually know if it's not for them. We'll cross that off the list." And then we, like, moved on. But it was her first stop of warnings. It wasn't, like, anything medical. It was, "If you get weird dreams, this is don't do it."
The way that I would have been like, "That sounds," and I have weird dreams. I would say they're not as weird as yours. I would have been like, "I'm on for this ride. That sounds great."
In the middle of the No, you're not.
I think I would have been. I think I
Mm-mm.
would have been. I love having crazy dreams, but now I'm gonna have weird ones and I'll regret it. It's
Maybe
fine.
not in, like, a tent in the Sahara, though, you
Oh,
know?
you were gonna have the dreams in Africa.
Yeah, this is a pill I have to take
Oh,
whilst in
no,
Africa.
no, we're not gonna, like, go out and, like, pet some lions. No.
Right,
No, thank you.
exactly. See,
I thought you
I
meant
knew you were with me on this. I
I
knew.
thought you meant here at home. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
"Why
different.
not?"
That's different.
No, no, we're not making friends with Simba in the wild and while
No,
we're asleep.
I would, but no.
Not while asleep. Oh, okay, okay. So my glow on, it's actually been a dream of mine since 3rd grade, which I know we've discussed before and you think I'm crazy, but I have always wanted glasses. And I lived through a 23-day headache this past month, and she's gone now. Thank God. I almost matched your record and did not. But
I'm glad you didn't.
me too.
For your sake, not mine.
It was so bad. Like,
Mhm.
and to be completely honest, my optometrist, he was like, "I've no one's ever presented with these specific symptoms before," and I was like, "Cool, cool. That's very on brand for me." But he did find that I have an astigmatism that I've developed. But for my whole life, I'd always wanted glasses, and they're like, "No, your vision is better than perfect," and that's been a badge of honor I've worn for so long that I never thought this day would come. Turns out, I need glasses. He said I don't have to wear them all the time because they're not my vision's not a danger to myself or my going to cause an ability to like an inability to do daily tasks. But he was like, "This astigmatism could be causing your headaches." He was like, "I don't know
Mhm.
if your eyebrows are ever sore." And I was like, "All the time." He's like, "It's because you're squinting all the time." And I was like, "Oh." He's like, "Could cause wrinkles." And I was like, "Give me the glasses." So
Mhm.
I got my first pair of glasses. My second one should be done sometime next week. And I think that's my glow on, is the fact that, like, I told Allison this morning, there was a period of time where I was like, everything on Show It just isn't crisp. It's not as crisp as I would like it. It was me. It was my eyes. Because I
It's
looked at our
me. Hi.
I am eyes are the problem. It's them. The, the way I looked at our new website, which is on Show It, and I was like, everything's so crisp and clear with my glasses on, and I took them off and I was like, "Oh my god." So my glow
The
on
new site
is,
looks so good. You're
it
right.
looks so good.
It does.
I was like, "Wow, I didn't realize what I'd been missing out on," and it's not that everything is even soft without my glasses, it's the minuscule details I've been missing. So that that is my glow on. I love glasses. My ears are,
No, 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 no.
the jury's still out
That's
from my ears.
wild. When I was in I think it was legitimately 3rd grade,
Mhm.
I knew I was blind, and
Yeah.
I know what they mean by a danger to yourself. Like, I did so many embarrassing things because I couldn't actually decipher what was happening in front of me. But I remember I had such messed up teeth that the thought that I could also have to wear glasses was traumatic. My mom had glasses,
No.
of course I was gonna need I have blue eyes, of course I was gonna need glasses. So when I found out that the, eye test was coming to school like they used to do in
Yeah.
elementary school, I went to the nurse's office the day before and pretended to not feel good and memorized
Of course you did.
the eye chart so that I would ace my eye test. And did I? Absolutely. And you wanna know what happened? I just made my eyes worse by not having glasses. So eventually, I definitely did get 11 wrinkles, and that's why they've always been an issue because I spent my life squinting.
How is this surprising and not at all
Yeah.
surprising?
I found a way to pass and not have to wear glasses because I didn't want to, even though it wasn't actually in my best interest.
The Let this be all of the evidence we need that who you are begins so early
It does, it
and
really
so many traits stay with you. What I don't see a cheater there. I see a go-getter and a self-protector.
I didn't feel like cheating, but I do remember when I needed glasses, I had the opportunity to, like, know that I needed it,
Yeah.
mourn it, be, like, mentally ready and okay, and I think that holds a lot of value. I was ready for
Yeah.
messed up teeth and 4 eyes and adolescence all at once.
That's
So
massive. Well, and not to mention back when you were fiddling with the idea of having to wear glasses and have teeth that had not been
yeah.
corrected yet.
Phew.
The frames that were available were, like,
Yeah.
worse than Harry Potter. It was not gonna be like a this is an like, my glasses right now are purple and tortoiseshell, and I'm like, "That's so fun, it's unique, it's cool, this
Mhm.
is a good identifier of who I am and my personal style." That's not where they were when you were in 3rd, 4th, 5th,
No,
6th grade.
no.
So, I feel for
Mm-mm.
you. I will
And I mean, I
say,
could not see without them. So, like, they're also something that you're wearing all
all the
the
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big difference. I
Mhm.
will say too, whenever I whenever I picked up Emmy from school that day after my optometrist appointment, I was like, "Sorry, I was a little later than I said I would be. I was at the eye doctor." And she was like, "Oh, tell me more." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna get some glasses." And she was like, "That's so cool." Elizabeth, one of her besties, Elizabeth just got glasses and she looks so cute in them.
Mhm.
What are your glasses gonna look like? And I showed
Cute.
her pictures, and another one of her friends just got braces and they're
Mhm.
in 3rd grade. And all of these kids are seeing these things that were differentiators in a negative way when we were their age. And they are being celebrated, at least in her circle of 3rd graders. And I was like, the world's gonna be a better place. This is so cute. She was like, I love her glasses. Can I go to the eye doctor? I want to make
Yeah.
sure I don't need glasses. She might
Yeah.
be getting braces this year too. So it was just like, wow,
It's so cute.
the social pressures and things that we felt. It's just nice to see that she's not necessarily dealing with those particular things,
Yeah.
at least just yet.
Seth really loved going and picking out frames too, like, that was
Yeah.
always a really exciting day, and he would definitely take exciting and fun risks that he's
Yeah.
now embarrassed of.
No.
I know he's like, "Whew, I
The
was really" he'll be like, this showcases what a confident kid I was, because what a choice.
You
Like, why
know,
did I do that? Which I think we all do. And it's funny to watch your child do that. But I, I also very much feel, even as a third grader, some of the things that we fear we're putting on ourselves. So I don't even
absolutely.
know. I'm sure I would have been made fun of for my teeth and my glasses, but I'm sure the majority of that was just me not wanting.
Well, what I've gleaned about your classmates, I would say, yes, the
Yeah.
wrath of their hatred was going to be headed your way. They were
I
kind
don't
of
know.
horrible.
I think it was more so that I was, made fun of and bullied a little bit for a
Yeah,
little while. So
they sucked. These were proper fears. I
I was
mean,
just
I don't know.
nerdy. It's fine. I was different.
Well, one thing we haven't said is while we're doing our glow ons, I want to encourage you guys to think about something you're grateful for that you have a glow on for when we are too. Because thinking about small things, whether it be new glasses or I'm looking at my favorite olive oil brand sitting on my stove, whether it's just something small that you are grateful for or excited about, that little jolt of gratitude and happiness in your spirit is important. So think about something that you have a glow on for every time we do ours. I think that would be a good practice to have.
I agree.
Well, go get yourself some glasses and some
Mhm.
Nello magnesium cortisol beverages.
Mhm. Exactly. Let me know what happens in your dreams
Great.
and what you're able to see with your glasses. What frames you get.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, or not.
We will see you, hear from you. No, I said this last week. I don't know what you're doing next week, but some version of us will be on here. Charla's going to be in Africa when you are listening to whatever it is that comes out next week. So
Mhm.
send her all of the positive, non-vicious Simba energy, and we will see you guys on the flippity flop.
Go glow on.
Hey photographers, feeling overwhelmed doing it all on your own? That's why we created In the Glow, an exclusive community where you can thrive together. Join us to build meaningful relationships in a safe, fun, and honest environment. Access top-of-the-line education every week, share your dreams, wins, and setbacks with supportive peers, and track your goals with mentors eager to see you succeed. Doors to In the Glow open again at the end of August. Head to developeacademy.com and search In the Glow to join the waitlist now. Don't miss this chance to be a part of this transformative community.